The Burning Questions is a panel-style cybersecurity discussion featuring industry practitioners as co-hosts and panelists. Each episode focuses on delivering unfiltered, experience-driven opinions on real-world cybersecurity topics. We're looking for no vendor spin, no fluff, no word salads, just sharp questions, real expertise, and increasingly questionable life choices. Here are the rules for the panel. Every time a question is asked, the panelist answering must take a bite of a specially selected, brutally spicy food item. The host takes a bite too. Just to be fair, the escalating heat mirrors the real pressure faced by cybersecurity practitioners in their real jobs. As the spiciness intensifies, the honesty increases as well. This is cybersecurity under pressure.
Was there anything that you would have done differently because the technology and the threat landscape has changed? What would have been done differently?
I think I was at the time quite lucky. So because this is supported by the government investigator, right? So we have done whatever we could do. So we identified the issues before that, and then we also fixing it, right? So the issue actually related to the link that it was not secure because of the authentication is not included in doing that, and it was identified before that, and it's also being addressed with the same issue being fixed. But later on, because when you do the testing, you're not doing it every single time, right? You have like 6 months or whatever. So within this period, there are some changes in the change management. It's done there, but it is just waiting for the next cycle of the testing to identify it again or fix it again. So from that aspect, I think we done what we could do, yeah. And in terms of doing the exercise with CMT, I think it's quite useful because they already prepared. The other thing that I also was amazed is that the executive team was very mature. They are not panic, even it is already in their back. The regulator is pushing, and also the media is pushing, and the head office is pushing. They're quite mature. Actually, they are not doing a blame kind of games. They are going through attacking the issues or what happens out, and then has been being fixed and has been identified already. So there's no like who's done that, who did it, who has done that. So it's not that. So we are attacking the issues. So it gives actually the staff or the analysts that doing the job the kind of that they don't feel being blamed, so they want to cooperate. They want to tell the truth, right? So this is what happened. They are not afraid being later on being getting blamed or get consequences around there. So I think around there everyone is just cooperating. Yeah, something that before it is actually being deprioritized, as what he said. So something that security usually are not the priority. So now it suddenly become a priority. Everyone is just jumping, everyone is fixing it, everyone providing informations, etc. I think from that angle, we have done what we could do, I think. Yeah, it's just made a bad luck at the time.
Personally, myself, it wasn't specifically that incident. That incident was, I think, pretty self-contained in that sense. Yes, the business actually suffered a monetary loss, but that is just one of those situations that we. And what I did learn throughout my entire career up until that point was, which was not very long ago, was about being able to effectively communicate. I think it's communication is such an important thing when it comes to incident response. It's not just about technology. It's not. It is about being able to articulate clear instructions of what you need and what the outcome you need as well. Very, very early on in my career, like really, really early on in my career, there were other incidents where I learned very quickly in terms of being able to compartmentalize sort of communications that's coming towards you. Just like yourself, everybody's asking you questions. And therefore, you really need to just be able to go, no, it's interesting when you first start out with your work, right? And I'm talking about early 2000s, whereby people will be asking a lot of questions. There was no structure for incident response, right? Everyone's asking questions on the telephone bridge, literally telephone bridge, and sometimes you actually have to overstep your authority and tell people to just shut up, right? Because we are trying to do this at the moment. And that's I've learned over the years how to tell people to shut up without telling them to shut up. But the reality is that I think it's so important. Steve, even for yourself, you deal with this as well. That containment phase, everybody wants they want an answer. They want to ask a question. They want an answer, which is fine. But there needs to be a time when you're actually giving information, and whether it's hourly or whether it's at the end of the day, and everything else. That communication is really, really important. So going through this particular one, that was actually quite polished. That particular organization I was in understands crisis management very, very well. So everyone was actually quite familiar with things. So therefore, it was nice to be able to run through a less noisy sort of situation and you can just focus on the actual response itself. But communication, man, communication. During any sort of incident, if we remember in New South Wales back in the COVID days when our premiere at 11 a.m. every single day, whether you have information or not, you communicate, right? That's consistency is also really
Yeah, nothing
important.
new is still an update.
Absolutely, absolutely. So these are the really core components, and also communication that people understand. Telling people, oh, that particular IP address was blah, and when they don't understand it, then you might as well not have communicated anything, right? So yeah, this communication was a very big one, and that was I spent a very large part of my career just fine tuning communication.
Yeah, I can attest to the requirement of having clear communication strategies, especially when you're responding to an incident, right? So communicate early, communicate clearly, even if you don't have all the answers, you haven't solved everything. Provide relevant information, factual information, and set the expectation when the next update will be. And to your point, if there's no changes, then that's your communication. No changes. I think the other thing that I also taking away from that incident is that as a CISO, when you're facing this incident, your time is just too short because everyone was just a piece of you. So I think how to master in terms of spending your time, whether you're spending time with the board, spending time with the CMT, you're spending time with your team, you're spending time with the IT team, going to more detail in terms of getting more extracted information for them. I think you need to learn there and then make a call there on that day, on that time. Where should I go? Should I go to the team there doing the investigation, getting all the data, factuality, or you going to spend time with the CMT, or you're going to spend time with the corporate communication? I think as a CISO, when you're facing this incident, you will have this. You have to make a call on that time where you will spend your time, because you can't be everywhere, right? You need to be there, but as we say, right? This one you can wait later. This one, I need to go there first. And it's really important, like what you mentioned before. You need to be able to tune out the noise. And how do you do that? Everyone does it differently, right? And everyone wants a piece of you, as you mentioned. That's right. And they can use varying degrees of region, or they can make crap up just to get information from you. I've had instances before where someone was pinging me out of the blue. We were responding to something, not that it's a big thing, and we weren't directly impacted as well. The organization wasn't, but there was something that we were responding to. One of the folks was pinging me directly because he pinged my boss to get information, and my boss said, "No, you're not getting the information." So he's trying me, and he was saying, "Oh, I tried your boss. Can you give me more information? It's coming from so and so stakeholder." This is trying.
which
Of
is
course.
very, very interesting. right?
Intel gathering.
Exactly. And I went like,
I know how social engineering works. It's not working.
you think you're going to get a different response from me?
They try.
Very, very interesting. And I'm moving to my question. I've had my chili, sorry. So we're talking about shifting the posture and the risk appetite as well after a risk or an incident eventuating. How did that translate, based on your experience, in changes to how you plan for and budget for security?
Man, that's a dark art.
Did you get more?
I'll answer and then I'll eat. I'll answer and then I'll eat. I'll answer and then I'll eat. You can eat first.
Okay, I will.
Um,